do you give a mother cow that's just given birth?
Decal. I got it.
All right, your turn.
All right, so let's see. What do you call a false noodle?
A false noodle?
Mm-hmm.
What?
An imposter.
You gave me one. I got one. All right. Your mama's so fat when her beeper went off, people thought she was bagging up.
Oh, we don't do your mama jokes. You have to do your mama jokes. I can't do your mama jokes. Let me give you one more though. So, why did the nurse have a red pen?
Why did the nurse have
a red pen? Just in case you wanted to draw blood. My little corny.
I'm telling you, you all right with the jokes. You are all right with the jokes. How you doing today,
What's going on, Ira?
I'm chilling. PR specialist, journalist, realtor. I didn't know that.
The realtor part?
Yeah. Father. Born in Montgomery, Alabama, raised in the small community of Sellers,
Alabama,
which is located 25 miles south of Montgomery. He joined Moores Chapel AME Zion Church at an early age.
See, this is the bio for when I was speaking at church. Don't go. I told you don't read all.
No, this is good stuff. See, this is what you don't understand, right? This is about and who was that? JT Moore.
Yeah,
did it.
Yeah,
his bio was not conventional.
Right.
It talked about him.
Right.
It wasn't it wasn't really professional.
Gotcha.
And so what usually happens is I read people's bios and then I have to ask all this stuff. But yours might be here, so just chill, sit back, relax. He joined Morris Chapel AME Zion Church at an early age and still remains active in the ministry of his beloved home church. After receiving his Bachelor of Arts in Mass Communication from Auburn University within 3 short years. Wow. Smart. Jackson started his career in television as a news reporter for the NBC and Fox affiliate station, WTVA in Tupelo, Mississippi. Once in front of the camera, he began to identify as Rick Jackson. It wasn't long thereafter that he landed a job as an award-winning on-air journalist for CBS 42, WIAT in Birmingham, Alabama. That's when I first saw you. Where he spent most of his tenure as morning news anchor and reporter. Over the span of his career, Jackson has covered many amazing stories and encountered a large celebrity base. His most memorable story was the coverage of Barack Obama's historic inauguration in 2009. Today, Jackson leads the communication and PR operations as the spokesperson for the largest water utility in the state of Alabama, Birmingham Water Works. He is also a licensed realtor in the state of Alabama. In his spare time, Jackson enjoys traveling, exploring real estate ventures and home design, and being a father to his son, Ethan. His proclaimed motto is, "My job is not to impress you, but to leave an impression on you." Jackson currently resides in the suburbs of Birmingham and is a proud member of Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated.
That was nice.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Most definitely. Now, as I said, let's fill in the gaps, right? I want you to tell me about your mom and dad, your upbringing. You know what I'm saying? What was school like? You know what I'm saying? What did you do in high school? You know, were you on the yearbook team? I mean, did you foresee all of this? You know, tell us what's not on there.
Right. Right. Well, I grew up pretty much. You said a fancy way of saying I grew up in the country. I grew up in a very rural area. I mean, literally, we got one road running through Sellers, Alabama. Walking around.
And another thing, I love hearing about cities like going to Alabama. I heard the stuff I had never heard of.
Right.
People being from.
Right.
Sellers is on the list. Like, yes. I have never heard of Sellers before
time
today.
I talk about Sellers, I've never heard of that because we literally got like 25 people in the neighborhood. But I love my hometown. Still visit my family. My parents still live there. Blue collar workers. My mom worked at sort of like a seamstress. My dad's a tire mechanic. For Ryder, they both are retired now. Still living in Sellers. Went to Performing Arts High School, where my magnet was theater arts. And so I love the stage and left there, of course, like you said, went to Auburn. I did have the opportunity to graduate from Auburn in 3 years because I started and did summers and maxed it out. But I didn't necessarily do it because I'm the smartest kid. I'm just kind of lazy, and so I hated school.
So you wanted to get it over with.
I wanted to get it over with because Lord knows if I took a break, I'd probably still be there right now. Yeah. So I did that. Of course, man, I just wanted to be, at that time as a kid, I was like, I want to be on TV. And so, but as I went to college and I started to learn the science behind it and everything, I wanted to further it into news. And so it was my dream to be a newscaster. And so I left Auburn, man, and I spent my last semester, actually came to Birmingham, and I landed an internship with ABC 3340.
Okay.
Where, the interns there, they were doing like 20 hours a week, but I asked, can I do 40? And so I was working 40 hours a week, wasn't getting paid, but it helped me to build a nice resume tape. Shot it out there, and the news director in Tupelo, Mississippi gave me a shot. And I was so excited, man. I'm not even ashamed to say at that point, I was nearly poor. My first contract I signed with TV was $22,000 a year. And after I got there, and I remember my parents drove over there with me, and I was at the studio, and we did all the paperwork, and I signed the contract. And he said, you know what? And I was thinking, Keatrick is a lot to spit out on TV, so we're going to call you Rick. Rick Jackson, that's going to be your name. And so I was so excited. I was like, I don't care what you call me.
That's where it started.
That's where it started.
You had gone by Keatrick before.
That was my name. I never went by Rick. It's not a nickname. He did that. And so I remember coming back to the hotel and was telling my mom. That was the last thing I said. She wasn't too happy about it. But yeah, that's how Rick Jackson was created. And God bless his soul, Robert Davis. He just passed away probably a few weeks ago, that news director. But he was the one that gave me opportunity. It went from there. And so when somebody say, what's up, Keatrick? I'm like, where you know me from?
Yeah.
And I've gotten so accustomed to Rick because that's just what it is now. So, I got back over here in Birmingham. I've been here for 15 years now, man. July. Can't believe that. But
now let me ask you this. Why did you go from news to corporate?
Great question. So in TV world, for all of like the news anchors and reporters, we always say, once you're tired of TV, you want to get you a nice, cushy PR job, right? And that's how you retire. But for me, I had no idea that I would leave television so early in my career. It was a lot of factors at the time. I had just had my son. I became a single parent at the time. He was like 2 or 3 years old. And I just like the schedule and everything. And this opportunity just kind of fell in my lap to come over with the Waterworks. And I explored it, man. And towards the end of my second contract, I knew I wanted to either, probably pack up my baby and move or something. And so this opportunity came and I hopped on it, and I hadn't looked back really since. And it's been quite a journey. Quite a journey.
What you mean by that?
Oh, you know what I mean. I'm gonna get around to that, but nah, it's been quite a journey, man. But it's a great experience. I really, really love what I do. I still miss TV. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do. And I would lie to you if I say I never thought about maybe venturing back eventually. in some form or capacity. But
and that brings me back to, what about acting? Like, have you thought about coming back?
I did, man. Let me tell you something. So this past September, I auditioned for a play. Hadn't done it in years, and I got the part. We did a play with Mark Raby.
I remember now that you said
Dearly
that.
Departed.
Yeah.
It was just like with the movie Kingdom Come is adapted from.
Right.
Man, I had so much fun doing that and just kind of balancing. And what it taught me, though, because I stayed away from the stage so long, and after a while, if you stop living your dreams and stuff like that, it just merely becomes a dream.
Yeah.
And so I hadn't done it in so long because I was afraid of my schedule.
Yeah.
And man, I put in the work and it happened, and now I got the itch again. I think I'm gonna audition for something else here soon.
When you audition, tell them you know somebody that wants to be an extra.
Who?
Me.
What?
I don't want to say nothing. I just want to get the credit that I'm
speaking lines.
Not only a few. Only a few. You were very honest about, you weren't the best student. I just wanted to get it over with.
Mm-hmm.
And you seem like you have made awesome life choices. But if you could go back to an age, what age would it be, and what advice would you give yourself?
So if I could change anything, I wouldn't, because I do feel like all of my lessons are pieces that molded me. But at an age that I would go back and tell myself something, it would definitely be 18. And I would tell myself to just reach for the stars, and you can do it. You can do anything, regardless of adversity. I was the first student in my family to even go to college, and I'm not gonna lie to you, Auburn is not, well, from where I was from, it's probably like an hour and a half away. But I caught hell trying to go to Auburn because my mom and my family were like, "Why are you trying to go out to school? You can stay here and go to Alabama State or whatever." But at that time, I remember I specifically wanted to go to like Juilliard or something to really pursue this acting thing.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go to Howard. I wanted to really go away. There's a lot of things I would tell myself to like just be very certain of what you want to do and do it. You can do it. You can really do it. And so I try to teach my son that every single day.
If the saying applies to anyone, it applies to you, and that is, reach for the moon, and somehow, worst case scenario, you'll
still
land among the stars.
Yes.
And, I just want you to know that even though you have pretty much up until recently seen me in an adversarial position, I really respect you. I really, when you came over there, I watched you on TV. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I'm so glad that we have the opportunity to be positive and all that kind of stuff, because I ain't never had a problem with you personally. It was just those boards. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Right. And getting back to those, how old were you when you first moved there?
To Birmingham Water Works?
Water Works.
I was close to 30.
But you were in your 20s?
Yeah.
I mean, that says a lot about you, your work ethic, your talent. And so I'm just honored to have you here.
I appreciate it. I really do.
Now, even though you're not originally from Birmingham, it is definitely home now.
Absolutely, man.
And I have a question I've been asking this season. What makes you so Birmingham?
I think what makes me so Birmingham is the fact that I fit in here. I feel like, I don't have relatives here for the most part, but I got a lot of cousins, I tell you that. And I feel like, people I meet, they're my cousins, you know what I'm saying?
That is some Birmingham shit, everybody your cousin.
Everybody my cousin, you know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with popping in at Green Egg, because when I go out to the classic, I love the tailgate, and it's just home, man. Birmingham is home. It's truly magical, just like what the saying says. And so It's kept me here all this time. To be honest with you, Birmingham was just a stop on my trail to try to get to a larger city. That's what we do in the broadcast world. My man Mike can contest to that. But it's become home. It's really home. I really represent everywhere I go.
What's your favorite charity?
My favorite charity, well, if I can just slide into one of them, would be St. Jude, because my fraternity, Alpha Phi Theta, that's our philanthropy, which helps a lot of children who are facing some life-altering illnesses. But I have to say, I would be remiss not to say that March of Dimes, because they give back to babies and premature babies. And my son was born at 27 weeks. Actually, it was a twin. My other son was stillborn. And so, but, through charities like that, it helps families so much that are struggling, especially it's a hard time you seeing your baby in the hospital. My son stayed there for 3 months before we were able to take him home. And so March of Dimes did a lot for us, and they do a lot for families. And so since then, I always shout them out.
That's
always.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't answer one of these questions, you're going to make a donation to the March of Dimes.
I'm with it. Come on.
All right.
You tricked me.
I sure did. I'm going to start with Alabama or Auburn. Alabama. Next.
Question? What's that even a question?
I just wanted to answer for you. I usually... Alabama State or Alabama A&M?
Alabama State, I got to represent for the home team.
Birmingham Legion or Birmingham Stallions?
Birmingham Stallions.
Okay. Birmingham Squadron or Birmingham Barons?
Ooh. Birmingham Barons.
Biggie or Tupac?
Pac.
Jay-Z or Lil Wayne?
Jay-Z. That wasn't a good comparison. That wasn't. You should have said Jay-Z or Nas.
Alabama Theater or Lyric Theater?
Alabama Theater.
Sloss Furnace or Vulcan Park?
Vulcan Park.
Birmingham Zoo or McWane Science Center?
I better say McWane Science Center.
Crossplex or Legion Field?
Legion Field.
Protective Stadium or Legacy Arena?
Protective Stadium, for sure.
Botanical Gardens or Railroad Park?
Botanical Gardens.
Regions Park or Rickwood Field?
I'm going to say Rickwood only because...
Your name in it.
You just don't see anything else like it anywhere.
Yeah. iPhone or Android?
Man, iPhone.
My man, if you could have a superpower, what would it be?
My superpower would be to be a psychic.
To be a psychic? Wow, that's pretty. What's your zodiac sign?
I'm an Aquarius, man.
Now, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Are you a typical Aquarius as people define?
To some aspects, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can love you and forget you.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting that he picked out that fact. I'm going to leave that alone. What's your favorite color?
Yellow.
Favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Favorite pair of Jordans?
Ones.
NBA team?
Golden State.
NFL team?
Philadelphia.
Who's going to win the NBA Finals?
The Heat.
You think the Heat going to win
I
it?
think so.
Well, playoff Jimmy has been breaking hearts lately. I mean.
I think so. I think it's their year.
Yeah. Now, going back to that place you work, right? I want to say some things.
Okay.
This is actually the second board that I've been fond of.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You mean the board of directors?
Correct.
Gotcha.
The first one predates you.
All right.
I'll let that stay where it is.
Okay.
But one of the reasons I am so fond of this board is because of Teresia and Mashonda. I love the youthful energy, thinking, the different thinking. I think young people think differently than my generation.
For sure.
There are still a few people that I am not crazy about, but the board as an entity, I trust it.
Good.
For the first time you ever heard me say this, I trust
that's major.
The decisions of this board.
That's awesome.
Now, that takes a lot for me to say that.
Okay.
People know I can't stand the Birmingham Water Works Board. You know what I'm saying?
No, we know.
Now, and I'm not just saying this. This is after watching for a minute.
Right.
So, with a happy heart, let me introduce to everyone the spokesman for the Birmingham Water Works Board, Mr. Rick Jackson, who is going to tell us. I want you to start with Bill Better because that just brought me on over.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want you to talk about Bill Better. And then I also want you to talk about what's coming up from the Birmingham Water Works Board this summer.
Fantastic. Thank you for saying that, by the way, because that's a great leadway into Bill Better, because when you talk about trust and the board and things like that, Bill Better is all about transparency. You know, it's no secret we had a rough year in 2022 when it comes to billing and everything. We're behind on meter reads because of COVID and a lot of reasons. It was a hard year for the utility in general. So we're glad that we corrected those issues. We apologize for it. But the next question is, what's next? You know, we heard your apologies. What are you going to do now? So Bill Better is basically a campaign to say we would do just that. We were going to present you with transparency. We're going to make sure that you have concise billing. We're going to make sure you have the education that you need to understand this utility and the workings in and out of it. And so through this campaign, we've added more staff to help with, high problem resolution, things that we have with customers. We've added staff on my team with 2 new public information officers to get out and engage in the community, and they've been doing a great job with that. But also, we're going to be doing some more educational things, and we'll send you things in the mail. And we got this whole entire landing page of resources for customers who may need assistance with their bills. Like
that part there.
Yeah.
I was putting out there because I thought that was super cool.
Yes, I saw, and I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? Hold on, go ahead.
Yeah, and I think, one of the things about that part of it is that a lot of customers don't know there are resources out there. Yes, we offer payment arrangements. We work with all of our customers with that. But there may be times that you're having a financial hardship, and there are agencies there willing to help. Of course, we have the H2O Foundation, but there are others there like, Greater Birmingham Ministries and a lot of them. So we have those on our website as a resource for our customers to check them out and see if they qualify for whatever services.
Now, this question is from my mama.
All right.
Right? She and a lot of people did not quite understand the old billing.
Mm-hmm.
Like how from here to here, it's this rate. But
yes.
if you're using more, it's this rate.
Right.
And people couldn't understand it. But you guys say y'all got a different...
Yeah, we have a new bill design. We did that. We launched that towards the end of last year, and it was just for that reason. It was just too much stuff on that bill. As you know, we bill for Jefferson County Sewer as well. Let me put that out there. We bill for Jefferson County Sewer. We are not Jefferson County Sewer. A lot of times we'll get the bad end of that because of the sewer charges. But it was just too much on that bill, and we got those questions and complaints about what is all of this, these different tiers. We build with a 3-tier billing system, which means that the first 3 cubic feet of water we charge at one rate, then the next we charge at another rate, and then higher. And we do that for basically a lot of reasons, but it creates equity. For example, if you think about it, people who are using between 1 to 3 cubic feet of water, that means you're probably a senior citizen living by yourself on a fixed income, or you're a single parent, you have a 2 person household, as opposed to someone using 9 or 10 cubic feet, which means that not only you may have a big family, but you're watering your lawn. Those are people that can afford more so the leisure of water. And so it does create some type of equity with that. But the bill has so much, this new bill design is so much cleaner. You don't have a bunch of return bills coming at you at once. Everything is there with your adjustments, anything that you owe from the previous cycle, all of that. So that was the reason behind that.
And I got one question that just came to mind myself.
All right.
I'm trying to grow some grass this year.
Don't water your grass. We're going to charge you for that.
Well, that's what I was about to. Is it true that I can call so my sewer doesn't go up? Because I'm using that water, but it's not impacting the sewer.
The only way that you can do that is if you have an irrigation meter, a private meter. And what the sewer will do is they will take the readings from that private meter and they will give you an adjustment. Just like if you fill a pool, they allow you to fill a pool once a year. And they give you credits for things like that because they know that that water is not going through the sewer, but they're basing their billing off of our reads that we give.
Right.
So, yeah, there are some credits that are allotted to you, but you have to have certain things in place.
That's good to know. Yeah. Now, finish what you...
Yeah, so that's what Build Better is about. And we just want the customers to be really, really just, familiar with that. Go to our landing page that we created just for them, bwwb.org/Build Better. And you will see all of those resources. As far as what we got coming up, we're excited about the summer. We're very busy. We got Hydrate the City that's kicking off this Friday at Railroad Park. Basically, that's just a series of pop-up hydration stops where we teach the public how to enjoy fruit-infused water because there are a lot of health benefits to it. We want the kids to get away from all the sugary juices and drinks over the summertime and try some fruit-infused water. And so we have recipe cards, some fun giveaways. It's just our way of giving back, and we have that schedule on our website. We have Waterworks Water Boy, which is an initiative we started a while back where we work with our high school athletic teams and cheerleaders to teach them to make sure that they're staying hydrated on and off the field. We talk to them about hydration, what to look for with dehydration symptoms, and then we leave them with the water cooler to remind them to stay hydrated. Have that coming up. We're just out in the community, man. Like, we really, really want you to reach out to us and say, hey, we got this going on. Our organization is doing this. Can we have somebody from the Waterworks come? And we're happy to do that. I'm so happy. When I started off at the Waterworks, it was just me. And now as the PR manager, I have a staff of 5. And so we're moving and shaking. We want to make sure that we're putting a good, positive footprint out in the community.
Outstanding. Yeah. And how can people, like you said, if they have community projects and how can they reach you?
Yeah, so public relations at bwwb.org is a great way to reach us. You can call our 244-4000 number. I do it better and do our PR office is 244-4225. And just let us know what you got going on. My man Tart here, he's out and doing neighborhood association meetings and just talking about some of the services we offer, talking about leak detection, water conservation, all the tips that we need to get to our customers. And really, the only way for us to do that, Iowa, is for us to get from behind our desks and get out there in the community and get in these people's faces and get honest feedback, good, bad, or indifferent. We need that feedback so that we can be better and improve our operations. And if we're going to be a utility that says that we're providing a service, we really got to do the work.
Outstanding. Now, do you have any last minute shout outs or anything you want to leave us?
Ivor, let me tell you this. I can't really know what to expect coming from you because, we do have a little past with, like you said, my fond memory of you was, you down there carrying on at the waterworks with picket fences and every other day. But you know, I appreciate that though, because you know, and honestly too, I will say you and I never had a run-in. You're very respectful when it came to that, but you're very passionate, and I appreciate that because things like that is that it helps us to grow. And it makes me feel good that, you know, here we are 9, almost 10 years later, and for you to say that you trust our board and you are open to listening to what we present to you, and it's not just, you know, some crap that we're pushing onto you. That means a lot, and we want that type of honest feedback. And so I appreciate what you have done and what you're doing now, not just because you're an advocate now, but it shows a clear example of what we need from the community. Give us your concerns, your honest feedback. That's how we can do better. It's not what we think we're doing that makes us better. It's about what the people think, how we make them feel. That's what measures our success. So I just want to shout you out on that, and thanks, man. Thanks for all you do.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, old me used to give people a chance until they let me down. New me, I'm gonna see what you're gonna prove.
Okay.
And then I say something. So you've already done it.
Okay.
In order for me to say that.
I appreciate it.
I want to thank my buddy Rick Jackson for joining us. I want to thank you all for listening. And as always, a huge shout out to Creed63, Urbanham.com, and now Urbanham.news. God bless.